All right, so both campaigns are encouraging supporters to turn out for early voting. Our next guest is the president and CEO of Thurgood Marshall College Fund. Welcome, Dr. Harry Williams.
Thank you, Fredricka, for inviting me to be here with you this Sunday
Well,
afternoon.
it's so wonderful to have you because it is so important what your group is doing and what so many others are doing to encourage people to vote, to participate. So you have been doing a lot of grassroots organizing at HBCUs, particularly in critical swing states like North Carolina and Georgia. You know, Harris is a graduate of the HBCU, Howard University. So how much more potentially impactful do you believe HBCU students' votes will be?
Critical. This election is so important, not only for our HBCU community, but for everybody. So we have been razor focused and making sure that we're getting the message out about the importance to vote. And we are a bipartisan organization. We work with both sides. But the reality, we want to make sure that our students are prepared. So we've started this campaign with our National Black Alumni Foundation in 2021. We've also partnered with the Eastern Area Links Incorporated to help, again, students understand their rights as it relates to voting and the importance of getting out and vote. We're not telling people who to vote for, but we're encouraging them to go and learn about the rules, especially some of the rules that have changed since the Supreme Court allowed some of the rules to be changed. Because, you know, students died fighting for the right for our students. HBCU students have led the way in that arena in the early 60s. We actually started a campaign. You remember that sit-in on North Carolina A&T campus in 1960 to kind of spark the civil rights movement. So HBCU students have played a critical role in helping this country move forward. So therefore, our responsibility at the Thurgood Marshall College Fund is continue that legacy of pushing and encouraging and educating our students.
And do you still find it, however, striking that you do have to educate people on the importance of voting, particularly young Black people, on the importance of voting, because we have heard in this cycle from a number of people who are young, who are Black, who say, you know what, I don't think my vote counts, so I'm going to stay at home. And that is truly jaw-dropping to hear from a lot of young people, particularly, you know, they're particularly Black and young, if they're thinking about their ancestry. But then talk to me about how and why you do feel like it's important for you to convey that message about the importance of their participation.
Well, it's important because it is our responsibility to continue to educate the next generation about what our forefathers did in order for us to have this right. It wasn't something that was handed to African Americans in this country. We actually had to fight for it. We have to fight for it in many, many ways through the civil rights movement. So it's important for the next generation to understand that. You know, at the Thurgood Marshall College Fund, we have a slogan that says education pays off. And part of our mission is to make sure that we're educating not only the HBCU community, but the whole entire nation about the responsibilities and what historically Black colleges have done for this country. You know, without HBCUs, it wouldn't be the Black middle class as we know it today. So we know that HBCU students are leaders. We know that HBCUs are located in some of the most, you know, challenging communities, and it's our responsibility to get in there and help continue to educate people on the responsibility to get out and vote, because not only at the national level, but also in the local elections. So we want to make sure that our students understand all the rules that are out there. We don't want anyone to get there and say, hey, I didn't know they switched it. Now some states are requiring that you have a voter ID. We want to make sure they know this. So this campaign that we're working with our HBCUs, we represent about 80% of all historically Black colleges and universities, which is about 300,000 students. So we believe in that, getting out and encouraging and educating and making sure that we are leading in this effort in a positive way.
And they really are a critical voting bloc. I mean, we talk about the voters 65 and older who are among the most reliable of voters, you know, across America. But the younger voters, the first-time voters, are really critical in their participation. Earlier today, we spoke with a digital news site reporter, Justin Carter, who talked about how he is seeing both campaigns kind of crafting their strategies to better appeal to and try to be more attractive to the younger voter. What are some of those younger voters that you've been in touch with, what are they saying to you about what they're looking for in these candidates and how important it is to see these candidates in places where they are, whether it's at the McDonald's or whether it's at church, or in a spice shop?
Well, I'll tell you what, our students, when they had the presidential debate recently, we had a watch party at the Thurgood Marshall College Fund where we had about 500 of our students in attendance to watch that debate. And what we heard from our students is this is, we all want to know how it's going to benefit us in the long run. So these students, a large percentage of our students in America, they have a lot of debt, and that debt to go to college, and they take out loans. And they want to make sure there's a process in place that we can forgive some of these loans, because a lot of our students are first in their family to go to college, first in their family to experience corporate America. And the financial burden that sometimes is placed on students when they take out loans can prohibit them from competing and participating in the American way of life, like buying a home. So they want to make sure that the candidates are talking about what they're going to do to support how to reduce the college debt, provide opportunities for maybe scholarships to support students to continue their education. So they're listening. But another piece of the puzzle that they're interested in is infrastructure resources to support not only historically black colleges and universities, but all universities at the federal level. So those are some of the things that some of our students are talking about. They are listening. I can tell you this, they are engaged. They're fully engaged in this process.
I love hearing that. Very encouraging. As a mother of three, I want my kids to be really excited about the process as well. And I love to hear that so many young people are. Dr. Harry Williams, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Wonderful.